We are at Pecos, Pueblo, Native American ruins. This was a walled Pueblo, and you're looking at the wall outside of the Pueblo, which served as the city limits. And beyond the wall was the plain, or field, where they did their trading during the day. It's a little flat area there. In just a few minutes, Sandra and I will go down into the kiva, which was the spiritual place for male Native Americans. Females were not welcome there. This is the ladder we climbed down to get into this kiva. It is a small circular room this is where they would build their fire, if they had one. And we'll probably learn more about kivas at Bandelier. But there would have been a hole here that would have been covered with deerskin and probably used as a drum. But the hole would also represent the Grand Canyon in the story of Grandmother Spider. We met a young college student who told us that she was planting plants that were closer to what was here during the time the Pueblo was inhabited. And the stone walls and things you see are part of the remains of the Pueblo, and the mound behind it is what has not been excavated and studied yet. And then I think that's going to be a refurbished ruins of the cathedral or the church that the Franciscans built here. And then you see the range of what Sandra says are mesas, and some pretty aspen flower trees turning yellow in the fall. Somewhere down there is a creek that provided water for the Pueblo. And over there are the mesas again, but I have a feeling that's the end of the Great Plains, because this Pueblo was a major trading center for the Great Plains Indian and the Pueblos. Churches were constructed here twice, one in 1617 and another about 80 years later. The first one was destroyed after the Pueblo Native Americans ran the Spaniards off. And you're looking at the foundation of that structure. And then these are the walls of the structure that was built 80 years later, when the Spaniards came back and took over the Pueblo again. This is the foundation of the original church, where you can see the stucco that was put on over the walls. After the revolt, the Spaniards were out only 12 years. However, there was still about 80 years between the building of the two churches. You're looking at what would have been where the altar was inside the later church. This is an apple tree apparently planted by Johnny Appleseed, with apples on the ground, and part of the original wall work of some of the Pueblo. You can see it there too. It looks like this has deteriorated, and there's some rock in there. We are still close to the churches, and here you can see some of the adobe brick that was covered by the mud. And here are rooms, and I'm going to ask inside if the rock walls were reconstructed or if they were part of the original Pueblo. And of course, they don't want you walking on the walls. Interstate 25 roughly follows the the Pecos path. And with any luck, a car will come along. There goes a truck. Good.